regional and international viewers, thank you kindly for choosing us here at Real TV, where we bring reality to you. My dear friends, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program, Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower, and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Singh Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, get your pen, get your notebook, Real TV, so you could take notes on important numbers that will be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Nathaniel Reed, on behalf of the team, would like to wish each and every one of you a fantastic day today. Happy Friday, my friends. I trust all is well, you're safe, you're happy, you're in good health, and you're having yourself a beautiful day, reminding you life is what you make of it. It's Friday, the 23rd of January 2026. A gentle reminder, it is a day and time we will never, ever, ever have the opportunity to have again. Don't procrastinate, don't waste your time. Do something productive and constructive, and let this day be the start of something brand new for you. Set a goal, all right? And if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. Do take your loved one for granted, because you know what? Tomorrow is not promised, yeah? Life is precious, it's fragile. And that's important that we recognize that. I do believe we have a community news announcement, Mr. Director. Yes, it's a health clinic, and it's free admission. It's happening on the 25th of January 2026. Amarjot Sabha Mandir in Kunapir from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's general, women's health, men's health, dental, eye health, immunizations, nutrition screening, ultrasounds, and so much more. So check them out. It's free, absolutely free. So take advantage of this. You know, when you have these health clinics that are around in your community or in the environments, it's a good way of you getting the opportunity to go and get your health checked, and it's absolutely free. And it's happening on the 25th, which I believe is Sunday morning, at the Amarjot Sabha Mandir in Kunapir from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. See and be there, all right? Thank you so much for that, Nathaniel. Let's quickly go to our quote for today. Your health isn't a side project. It's the main contract. Prioritize it, protect it, and let everything else fall into alignment. Your health is your wealth. All right, thank you so much for that. This morning, I am in conversation when it comes to your health and getting yourself in order from inside, right? I'm speaking of a force to be reckoned with, Miss Terry Ann George. She's a clinical nutritionist, so she knows the know-how. She's been doing this for many years. She has a wealth of experience, and so today she's going to be talking to us about our health. Good morning, darling. Welcome.
Good morning.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Which isn't new anymore.
Well,
because
yeah, because
before you know it, next week we're going into a brand
February.
new month. You see how important time? 1 month.
Passed so quickly. Yes.
Well, with that, you know, we all indulge over the Christmas holidays and the New Year's week with the cake and the poon and the different kind of food, and we really indulge, right? And we know carnival that's the flavor of the season. And we all want to fit into those jeans or fit into the clothes or all the costume. And we need to be on track. But first we need to, you know, prioritize and understand really your health is your wealth. If you don't have good health, you cannot perform. You can't be happy, you know. So the burning thing is everybody wants to know how to lose weight. And then we go on these quick fat diets. That we misled. And perhaps could take us down a road that's detrimental because it adds to poor health. And then what happens as well in terms of not having proper discipline and not following what you're supposed to do the right way, you lose 10 pounds, but you put on 15.
Exactly. And that is what we call the yo-yo diet.
Nice.
Okay? And so we want to avoid these things. We want to, when we say diet, we have this concept that a diet is something temporary. So we go on it today and we offer it by tomorrow and all those things. So you don't want to be on something that you just temporary. You want a diet is what you eat literally. So if your diet is conkles and soft drink, that's your diet. You understand the story? That's what some people is doing, not realizing this is what they're doing. Okay, so we want you all to understand, we don't want to be on something today and off tomorrow. We want something to be permanent and make it a lifestyle.
We want
right?
consistency.
Exactly, make it a lifestyle, right? So today we want to talk about weight loss. A lot of people have this challenge with weight loss. But you see, this weight loss challenge is actually stemming from Are You Really What You Eat, from my book, which I just give people. Because we discover it is a lot of things that cause you to eat. We have triggers. So some people will have emotional triggers. Some people will have, and so they will be either sad, they're happy. So sometimes when they're happy, they're going to eat a bucket of ice cream. You understand? A box of dead. You understand? When they're sad, they sit down and eat a set of chocolates. You know, you notice people have different things that they're going to be eating during different times, so they have different triggers. Or sometimes, it's again, how we eat growing up. Okay? And so some people will tell you that, you know what? And we have a large bone family. Okay? Everybody in the family has size. And that comes from generation and generation of eating patterns. Right? And so a simple thing, what we want people to do is like adjust your diet. We have this next thing that diet is something that, you know, is expensive. Eating healthy is expensive, and this is not true either. Okay, so we just want you using our local Caribbean food. So those of you living within the Caribbean, we're not just going to tell you to eat what kiwi or to have some strawberries or to use, you know, these. No, we're going to be using stuff that are local. So you're going to eat your local food stuff, right? Like right now in season, every month we have fresh fruits in season, like our pawpaw, our watermelon, mangoes now coming back into season.
Portugal
we have
in
Portugal,
season.
we have pomerac in season. I
Yes.
see some bolata, just bought a little bag of bolata just yesterday and stuff. And these are the things that you're going to be eating. Now, a trick to eating healthy is simply ensuring that we eat peas and beans every single day, 365 days in a year. Growing up, we actually used to be eating like that. Our parents had eaten peas every day.
Yeah, one
Think
day
about
it was
it.
split peas, one day is red beans, one day is black eye, one day is lentils. You know, you're
Exactly.
absolutely correct.
I was talking to my class, my nutrition class, because we offer courses, and so we have the clinical nutrition class. And the students were like, oh, you know, thinking about the mature ones. They were like, in true, when they grew up, there was peas every single day.
Yeah.
And if you don't have peas, for example, we had lunchtime, we had a fish broth. Then what was happening in the evening, they was going to give us booty, they was giving us a cup of chana, they was giving us some boiled corn to eat just like that. And the boiled corn is a peas. That's what some people not understanding. Now, why is it important to eat the peas and beans? Someone may ask.
Right.
Your peas and beans is what breaks down the carbohydrates, the fats, and the protein. So, for example, if this morning you decide to have a cheese sandwich, or you're going to have some eggs, because again, I have come across, I did not know that people do this, but now I'm discovering that people eat eggs every day.
Well,
I'm like, oh my God, I did not know people do that.
It's because, and I'm told that there are people who, you're correct, they have 2 eggs every day.
Yes.
And it is because of what they are seeing on social media.
Oh.
So they think everything they see on social media applies to them, but not understanding
The dangers of that.
dangers without any research.
Exactly.
Another thing that happens all the time is that because you hear your neighbor, or you see your neighbor taking something, you go on and take it.
Exactly.
Or you hear your brother or sister taking something, you go on and take it. No, it may work for them, but it may not work for you. Because
Exactly.
their health concerns are different from yours.
Exactly.
There are people who like, you know, they watch the show, or they listen to radio, or they live in on social media, and everything they see, they go apply it. And they are not understanding that this is detrimental.
Exactly. So I just learned something there, okay, because I'm telling you, I was in a state of shock. Because for
Yeah.
this whole week, I've been seeing patients and their cholesterols are high.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and so you want to know why the cholesterol high. You find that the liver fat is high, you understand? And they want to know, well, they're feeling sick, they don't have the energy, their heart hurting, they have irregular heartbeat, and all these things. When they start asking the questions, I was like, how could you eat 2 eggs every day? That means you're eating 14 eggs to the week. That is crazy. Okay, you're not supposed to have more than 3 eggs maximum for the entire week. I
You
don't
heard
care
that.
how you eat
3
that egg.
eggs maximum
3
for the
eggs
entire.
maximum
Now,
for the entire
the
week.
reason I'm bringing and elaborating on this point with her, with you, is the fact that she is a clinical nutritionist. She knows, trained and certified. So she has the ability to tell us what we are allowed to have or what we're not allowed to have when it comes to good health, right? So 3.
3
Now,
eggs.
you know we like our food. So you're making your macaroni pie, you're going to put some eggs.
No.
You're making potato salad, you're going to put some, I'm telling you, I like my potato salad, chop up an egg in it with some beets and different things. I'm telling you. And this is how we do it. And the mayo is made up, understand? So you add it. The reason I'm saying these things is we're not aware that it accumulates.
Exactly.
So you're having 2 eggs per day, which you're not supposed to have, 14.
And then you have the
and then you're adding it in your salads, or you're adding it in your macaroni salad, macaroni pie, potato salad, and other things that you may cook. What are you doing? And then you're complaining your cholesterol high,
Exactly.
as you were saying, liver problems and other ailments that start to develop. But we are doing this to ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly. I love it. Because the fact of the matter is, this is what we call the hidden fats. And so you see how simple it just enters into the system just like that without even realizing. And so now the next thing what we tend to do is blame the doctors and the medication. The medication not working. Now you are taking Lipitor or whatever it is you're taking for the cholesterol, but you're busy eating the eggs every day.
Oh gosh, let me add this too. And the sandwiches you're eating, you're putting a set of mayo. So just think about what you're doing to yourself.
Exactly. Are you really what you eat? Exactly. So people, we have to be so mindful and so careful, especially as we are aging. And so we are finding that within Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean, we have a high increase with people with diabetes and a lot of people getting heart problems and a lot of young people getting stroke. So a lot of, just recently, it had a 30-year-old young man, they had a funeral going through our community, and I'm like, who is this? He's well known here to me. Yes, he's only 30, was only 30. Died from a massive heart attack. And that comes from his eating pattern. So you cannot be using the medication and you counteracting medication because you are still eating the same way. You cannot be using the set of fats, the set of butter and the margarines and all those things inside of the food. So a lot of people using the yellow butter and stuff inside of the food while you still have inside of it the pork. And pork is very oily. Or the lamb, lamb is very oily.
Yeah.
All these things is cholesterol, all these things are oil that cause you to have liver fat. That leads you all to end up with the diabetes because the diabetes has no ability, the insulin cannot dissolve within the bloodstream, which leads to the fact that the medication you're taking not working and you're just increasing, the doctor's increasing it, but you did not change your diet. Because in your head, you think that diabetes is all about sugar, not realizing it's all about oil. Once the bloodstream is oily, then the medication cannot work and your insulin cannot work. And that also leads us to have the insulin resistance and the weight. Because remember we're talking about
Double
weight loss.
whammy, yeah.
So you want to know why you are putting on the weight and you're like, but I'm trying everything. You're running up the hill, what is that hill in the savannah? You're running up that hill, Chancellor Hill. You're running around the savannah 10 times. You're in the gym 5 days in the week. And you're like, but I'm not even eating much food. And you just find that but the weight not going anywhere. That is because now we have this next thing. We're not eating any carbohydrates, so we are not eating any flour, we are not eating any rice, we're not eating any pasta, but you're still seeing the weight is still being there because you have increased your protein because that is the newest fad diet in the market, the ketone diet. The ketone diet, everyone please listen carefully, damages your kidney. And when it damages your kidney, the worst patient to be on the face of the earth is a kidney patient. Because that means when your kidney fails you, you are on this, it's just a matter of time before you conk out. So you don't want to be doing dialysis once a week and then going to twice a week, then going to 3 times in a week. That comes, and please note that this don't happen overnight. You know, we have this thing that overnight magic. No, there's no overnight magic. Your kidneys damage over time. And if you have been doing this over time, well, Ms. Judge, I stopped it and I was doing that how many years ago? It will come back to haunt you. Your past affects your present, which shall affect your future.
Wow.
So you need to take care of you now. Okay? So the meat has to be cut down. If you think about it, watch these sumo wrestlers, or watch a weightlifter, bodybuilder. They have to consume a lot of meat to put on all that body mass. The body mass does not just come on just like that. Is that what you want? That you have to ask yourself. And some of these people, if you go and research, you will discover that in my days and in your days also, my guy from television was, what's his name is?
Mr. T.
Not Mr. T.
Remember him? He
of
was
course,
yeah.
he was big, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and all
Yes,
these
yeah.
people have kidney problems right now, if you don't know. You research and you discover they have the kidney problems because they come back to haunt them now. And the kidney cannot deal with, could not have been dealing with that over so long, so it damage over time. And it cannot reheal itself if you don't catch it in time.
I like what you just said, huh? Your past affects your present affects the future. You see, that is deep. With that, let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation. Today is about health. And even though it is the 23rd of this month, don't make an excuse. Be on your way. From today, tell yourself, I'm going to be a new and improved person. I'm going to be conscious of what I put in my body so it will reflect my tomorrows and my health. All right? Let's go to these messages. Stay with us.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Join me, your host, Smitty, on A Man's Perspective, right here on Real TV from 6 to 7 p.m. every Monday. Keep it locked.
Hi, I'm Naka, introducing to you Bridging the Gap, where we touch on the news, discuss social issues and current affairs with a twist. Every Monday to Friday in a real time, right here on Real TV.
I am Zelisa Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV. To all of our local, regional, international viewers all those of you on Tego, the app, thank you for choosing us. Remember to download it and tell your friends and family. I'm also asking you, knowledge is power. And if you now are looking at the show and you have the power to help somebody, please like and share. If you're looking at the show on any social media platform, like it and share it, because it's really good information that will perhaps help save the life of a friend or family member. You know,
That is so
sometimes we
true.
do things because, like you say, it is part of our culture, it's what we do. We like our food, and that's fine. But like you said, I remember, and I try to incorporate that as well with my daughter and I and our meals. We grow up on peas. We grow up every day. Now that well, we said it and we started to talk about it, every day we had peas and a little rice and some salad and whatever to go with it, a little avocado put in
Every
season.
day.
You know, we grew up on these things. Why are we now changing that? Is it because we don't have the time to soak the peas overnight and cook? I mean, I'm thinking.
Okay, so now, the nice thing, I like how you just put it about the time, because what I find now, I'm fascinated. Every time I go in the grocery, I go to see what's new out there.
Yeah.
Okay? And so you have no excuse, literally no excuse. So I
Yeah.
went in the grocery and I see people have frozen cooked peas.
Yes.
So you have the frozen lentils, the frozen red bean, the frozen
Yeah.
chana, the frozen everything already cooked. So all you have to do now, because you know the excuse was the thing in the tin. You understand? So the things that was in the tin, was given trouble. Okay, because you're looking at the preservatives and all these things.
Right.
So now they have no preservative in the frozen ones. So we take away the excuse. We
Nice, you're
also
paying
have
attention.
some people, I have seen a company, they have, and hopefully they come on board, their products is in boxes. Okay? So again,
I've seen
Exactly.
that. I bought that.
Yes,
I
me
will tell
too.
you. I bought
yeah,
the
me too.
corn. I tried the corn. I've been using the corn
exactly.
in boxes.
In boxes.
Yeah.
You understand? So we don't have the excuse, well, you know, the tin, and when the tin get damaged, you know what happens, it become toxic to the system. So we
Right.
don't have the excuse. We have the frozen ones already pre-cooked, and then we have also the frozen peas and carrot and corn, the frozen. So therefore, you have no reason why your food don't have the peas and carrots and everything inside of it.
Right.
Right? So for example, you're hustling, is a busy person, you reach home, you put on the rice on to cook, you take out your frozen peas, already done cooked, you hot up the pot, you burn a piece of garlic, and then you throw it in, you understand, with some water, food done cooked. The rice, we don't cook plain rice. Again, people try to avoid plain rice. In your rice, you know this new thing, you only have this jasmine rice and this basmati rice and all these things. Stop it. We're going with, I just use normal parboiled rice, but we don't cook plain rice. It's either carrot rice or pumpkin rice, or a mixed rice that has vegetables inside of it, the frozen peas and carrot and corn, the frozen peas and carrot only, all that inside of it. So you do not eat plain rice, okay? And then we have
nice
baji rice cook up, and then we have okra
I
rice
love
cook up,
vanilla.
and then we have, you understand?
Yeah,
so
pumpkin
therefore,
rice.
pumpkin rice, so
Yeah.
therefore, your food is healthy.
I like that you're telling us all
Simple
these things.
things.
You're correct. A little baji rice, you're so correct. I also like the fact that you added, even though they're eating the frozen vegetables, you make sure and put your seasonings, your garlic and your onion and your
shadow benny,
because
pimento.
all these
things are herbs.
and it's not just there for taste, but it's
Exactly,
there for nutrition.
for medicine.
Great.
That is the next
Beautiful.
thing. So we
Thank you.
tend to think
I love
that,
it.
so what I tell my patients, you use your food as your medicine. So you ensure that we use the shadow bunny, we use the onion, the garlic, the pimento, the curly parsley, the celery, you understand, the chive. These things are herbs that control your blood pressure, that helps the sugar to stay under control. It helps with kidney healing and all these things. So people don't understand. Even the callaloo, I just put some clove, I just put some clove inside of the callaloo, some nutmeg inside of the callaloo, right? I just put cinnamon inside of the callaloo. And these things help those of you who are diabetic, will keep your sugar under control.
Yeah.
So you understand your food becoming your medicine. You can put a little clove, you can put a little cinnamon inside your peas. And your peas will have an unusual taste. It tastes really good and it's very healthy.
I love callaloo.
You understand?
You know. Let
Exactly.
me tell you, when I make my callaloo, I have in a bowl of that, you know.
Me too. I just sit and eat a whole bowl
Like
of
a
callaloo.
soup,
So I just
you
make,
know?
It's not even like just sit down and eat a whole
Yeah,
bowl.
and
That good
enjoy.
and very good.
Yes.
And listen to me. So people, you're looking at the peas and beans and losing the weight. Why is that? Because the peas and the beans break down the carbohydrates, the fats, and the protein. So if we have, for example, in the morning, you eat, let's go back to this example, you're eating the cheese sandwich or you had a hot dog, you give the child a hot dog. I will tell you how dangerous these things can be. So you give the child a hot dog in the morning for breakfast. And exactly, for breakfast you had hot dogs, or you have salami or bacon and what do you call these things? Pepperoni, the whole works. So then lunchtime now, you decide lunchtime you're going to have a box of dead. And then in the evening you're going to have a wrap, what we just call, because our country is so multi-national, we now have the wrap, the gyros. Okay? And so therefore there isn't any peas in anything that I went through there, but there was carbohydrates, there was protein, and there was fat. So you're going to store up everything right there. That is how you are putting on the weight. You see, people don't think of that. There is nothing to break down anything that you had in that diet. Let's go. But Miss George, I'm not eating meat. Okay, I'm going to have only a salad. Just think about it. A rabbit. What is the size of a rabbit? It's nice and chubby and cute, and rabbit don't eat any meat. Think about it. Right. A rabbit is think about an elephant. Elephant don't eat any meat. They eat only vegetable. A cow don't eat any meat. They eat all the vegetables. So what I'm trying to tell you, that a salad is not the secret and the solution to losing weight. Okay? So I want you all to understand, come off of this grand idea that eating a set of salads and stuff will make me lose weight. That does not work. Okay? So I need you to ensure that everything is in moderation. I eat everything. But you have to eat fish because your thyroid is dependent upon that. Your thyroid is what dictates the pace of how fast your metabolism is. So therefore, if you're not eating fish, your metabolism is going to slow down. And so all you have to do is just watch the food or smell the food, and 5 pounds just jump on top of you, just so. You ain't eat it yet, eh? Understand that.
I want you, I think you're preaching to us today. Eh? I'm enjoying this conversation because it's real, it's facts. And we really need to be aware of these things that we take for granted. You're very correct. I love the fact that you say, don't have plain rice, even though you're having peas, grate a little carrot in it, or do a little, add a bhaji, or however you want to make it. But that takes away as well the amount of rice that you're going to have.
And it builds your fiber. And so a lot of people have constipation. So they're eating food, but they're not eating the food with the fibers. So if you eat the bhaji rice, and if you eat your okra rice, you have a nice stools, nice creamy stools. Play you don't know. So you wouldn't be having the cancer of the colon. You wouldn't be having the constipation. You're supposed to go off 3 times in the day if you're eating 3 times in the day. And if you're drinking a smoothie, then you go off twice in the day, morning and evening. So, and the smoothie, okay, this is the next thing. We're going to lose weight, and we want to lose weight, and we're drinking these smoothies. But here, let's pay attention to your smoothie. You have to put that oats, that granola, that quinoa, that fiber inside of that smoothie. Because if you're not putting the fiber inside the smoothie, there's nothing to keep you full. And so when you drink this fruit smoothie, you're hungry in less than 2 hours' time. And then you say, oh God, I'm so hungry, and you start to eat all kind of nonsense. You need to have, once you have that smoothie, my patients will tell you, listen to me, Miss George, I just feel full, so, you understand? Good. So your belly stays full, right?
So we're supposed to have, when we come back, I want you to talk to us about that. I want you to talk to us about, give us an example of what we should have for breakfast. And I know you have a flyer.
I'll go through all that.
We'll go through that. What we should, what you advise we have for breakfast, what you advise we have for lunch, and what you advise we have for dinner. I also would like you to address the times because you know some of us like to eat in the night, some of us we work late and we eat. How do we do that? The other thing is fasting. Is it allowed? Is it not allowed? There are lots of things we need to address, Again, what we see, what we hear, what we see on social media, and what may work for one may not work for the other. Again, because we're built differently.
That's
our metabolism is different.
Exactly.
And so all these are things I'd like you to address when we return. This is a program, Conversations with Zelisa. This conversation today is about you. It's about me. It's about us taking control what we put in, because what we put in will determine not only what we look like, but our health internally. All right? Prevention is better than cure. And if we just follow these guidelines, we'll all be healthier and happier. Yeah? Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Macon Construction Company Limited. Save big whilst building stronger. We build with our Macon innovative building systems, which provides high wind speed, earthquake, sea blast and fire resistance, is thermally and acoustically insulated, provides improved construction timelines and cost savings. We provide construction services from design to finish and everything in between. Macon Construction Company Limited. Building green today with tomorrow's technology. Contact or visit us today.
Hi, I'm Joanne Ogaro, and welcome to Smart Talk. SMART is the acronym for the Single Mothers Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
And I am Melissa Brown. Smart Talk exists to give single mothers and families real conversation, real data, real advocacy.
And I am Shermaine Wickham Howe, President and founder of the Single Mothers Association, highlighting all issues affecting single mothers, facts, situation, solution, empowerment. So tune in at 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. every Wednesday on Real TV with Smart Talk.
Ready to take your sales career to the next level? If you have a passion for connecting with clients, building meaningful relationships, and delivering results, we want you on our team. Join a dynamic, motivated environment where your experience matters, your ideas are valued, and your drive defines your success. Step into a role with real opportunity. Join the sales team at Real TV, where your future begins.
Call us today at 2926470 or WhatsApp us at 3847142. You can also send an email to realtv.corporate@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. Thanking you so much for choosing us, and today is about educating you about your health, the foods that we should or should not have that will be helpful for us or harmful. Yeah? And so I'm in conversation today with Miss Terry Ann George, clinical nutritionist, and she's here to guide us. So this is why it's important that you have your pen and your notebook, Real TV, so you could take some notes on what you should or shouldn't have, or guidelines that we stay. Welcome back, Miss George. Now, just before the break, I did ask you to address helping us, give us some ideas. Now, I personally don't ever endorse or approve of fat shaming. I want to make this very clear. Because there are people that are overweight, not because of choice.
Exactly.
Or not even because of their eating habits, because of health concerns or different things. So we must always be careful about that. We don't understand it, so don't point fingers. I personally know people that are chunky, but I also know that they walk more than me. I also know that I see them and they don't eat a thing. Right? So it's just about getting them into a plan with somebody like you, a nutritionist who could sit with them and go through, maybe get the blood. I don't know, you are the expert here. So I know that we have a flyer that you provided this morning. Do you want that flyer up now?
No, we'll put that up just now.
Okay,
that is for the exercise.
Okay, beautiful. So what I would like you to address would be some ideas.
Right, so I'm going to give some now.
Across the board.
Okay, right? So just as how just now I went through the bad eating pattern, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now I'm going to give you the good eating pattern for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So for example, some suggestion for breakfast, because our patient was like, what we go eat when I take off all the sausages and all the eggs and all those things. So we have smoothies in the morning. Okay, now the reason why we want to have smoothies in the morning is a lot of people don't eat on time. So they end up with the ulcerated stomach, the acid reflux, because of the hectic schedules and those things. So what you want to do is you can have these smoothies, or you can interchange breakfast with dinner. Okay, so dinner, I tell people to eat the cricks, right? Because the cricks is actually baking soda, and you want to eat the whole wheat cricks, the multigrain cricks, any of those cricks, not the plain white cricks. So you try to stay away from the bread, from the yeast. That is what you try to avoid. So you can actually have the sada. You can have a multigrain sada, because the sada do not use yeast in it. If you're using the yeast, try to avoid the yeast, but use the baking powder inside of it. So you're going to look at it.
I want to, now, I like that you've said that, because now you're giving people an advice and an option, an alternative to what they have. So, you like sada roti, I like sada roti. But like you said, you put your grains, or you put your little whatever in it.
The flax seed, the sesame seed, the chia seed, all those things you're going to put inside of it.
And you could have your vegetables.
Exactly. So I'm now going to go with it.
And the sadas, why I like the idea that you say we could have, it means that we're not straying away too far, we're just adding some things to make it healthier. Also, we don't use any oil.
Exactly, inside of the sada.
Right, so I like that.
And then we must use oil every day in your food, but it's how we're going to use the oil, what type of oil and how much, right? Because remember, everything must be in moderation. We have fat-soluble vitamins and fat-soluble minerals, and it has certain hormones that require to have a certain amount of oil for them to function to the best that they can.
Okay.
So therefore, you know, we want to think, oh, we're staying away from oils and no, we have to use everything in moderation. So for example, we have for breakfast, you can spin breakfast upside down. For breakfast or dinner, they can interchange. So if you have any sada, we have things that can go with the sada. We have bhaji, we have pak choy, we have karaili, we have melanjan, we have okra, we have pumpkin, we have tomato, we have tuna, we have sardine, we have saltfish, we have cabbage. You understand? We have bodi. You discover how much things we have? So more than a dozen stuff I just call out there that you can use for breakfast or for dinner. You understand? Right? So you interchange. So there's no need for any meat for breakfast or for dinner. You realize that? So all these things also keep the body alkaline, because the meat is what causes the elderly people, and a lot of people end up with the joint pain, inflammation within the joint. And that is which part people not understanding. And like, for example, you end up with the elderly people with plaque, causing them to get dementia and Alzheimer's. So if you know that you're over 60 and your family had this issue, or you're starting, or your relative is starting to show signs of these things, you just simply take them off of the meat for breakfast and lunch, breakfast and dinner, and you will see a whole different person, more focused, more alert. You yourself see yourself more focused, more alert. You understand? Because you're not eating these sort of fats and stuff. Okay? So you're just using 1 tablespoon of oil to burn the garlic, or to chunky the garlic, as you like to say, and then put in these stuff. You're eating your pak choy and all these things. The pak choy, the bhaji. These are things is what's going to help with your iron, right? Because it needs to build the iron, and you have a nice fruit juice with it. Or you have some fresh vegetables with it. So you have some tomatoes and some cucumbers and some lettuce, because iron cannot be absorbed without vitamin C. Right, so breakfast, you can have a smoothie, you can have cereal. So if you don't want to have a smoothie, you can have cereals. You can have hot Quaker's oat. You understand? You can have hot cream of wheat. And when you're making your Quaker's oat and your cream of wheat, you are going to put inside of it cinnamon and clove and spice. These things actually help with your sugar and actually help with the aches and pain in the body. Because nutmeg and clove, they are anesthetics, so they actually get rid of aches and pain within the body. Okay, so you're actually looking at using your food to become your medicine. Nice. Okay, so now you want to find all this little information. Just to put that in, I have a health education channel, right? And I'm on feed. And I mean an unadulterated corn soup. I don't want to see cow wheel in the corn soup. I don't want to see pigtail in the corn soup. I don't want to see chicken foot in the corn soup. I don't want to see nothing in the corn soup. Just a corn soup. Nice. You understand? Sorry. So have a nice, healthy, tasty corn soup. And I didn't say corn oop. I say corn soup. So put some provision inside of it. So when you have the provision and thing, you feel full. So you wouldn't bother. But George, when you drink a soup and thing, when you finish, you're hungry 2 hours later, you know. Now you're supposed to be eating at least every 2 hours. So you're supposed to have a mid-morning snack and a mid-evening snack. What time is mid-morning snack? At 10 o'clock, and mid-evening snack is between 3 and 4. What do we have as a mid-morning snack and a mid-evening snack? You have fruits. So you can have 2 fruits in the morning, 2 fruits in the evening, or you can have a granola and you can have 2 fruits in the evening. But you must have your fruits every day. Okay, so even though you took fruits in your smoothies, that is not counted. You need to eat your fruits. Okay, so you want the fruits, and that is where you get your fibers. Those of you, pawpaw and watermelon, these fruits that has color helps fight cancer. So it keep cancer at bay. It keep cancer at, you understand? So you want these fruits at least every day. You understand? The apple a day keep the doctor away. You understand? Your bananas and stuff. The bananas help with your stools. The bananas help with your potassium. The bananas. So those who don't want to eat the bananas, you can have a substitute for the bananas. Can now be your pineapple, and it can be your watermelon. Okay? So you have opportunity. All these fruits are always in season, so you have no excuse.
Yeah.
And you know we like to want to say, oh God, there's so much money for the fruits. But you know you just go and buy a soft drink for X amount of money. Exactly. You pay $6 for a soft drink, but you can pay $6 for a pound of watermelon, 1 pound, and that'll give you a nice piece of watermelon that you can eat.
Absolutely correct.
Right?
It's about
You
the
can
choices.
pay, exactly. So you make the, I was like a day, we saw some, and it's just a discipline and something that you have to think.
Yeah.
I am just like you.
Yeah.
So a day I saw some, I don't bake so I went into a grocery, and I hope they come on board, and they have a nice sliced sponge cake. So you know how long I haven't eaten sponge cake, so I'm like telling my husband, boy, and this is looking like the old time sponge cake.
Yeah.
You know, it have a taste.
Yeah.
It's not a box thing. So you girl decide, okay, so you had buy a slice the day before, and it tastes really good. So this time I go back and one more again, I go in. I come back out, you watch me, but I ain't seen no cake in your hand there. What is that? It was some grapes, it was some watermelon, it was some pawpaw, it was some, it had pawpaw, pineapple, those things. Fruits, I say we're going to sit down and have a whole fruit plate. You understand? And so you're eating your fruits. Exactly. Because when you have that craving for sweet, then you can use your fruits to be the substitute for it.
Nice. I love that. I want to just go back a little bit, backtrack a little bit, so that we could have a little better understanding and clarity. When you talk about we can have meat, you suggest we have meat 3 times a day. You suggest we have fish 3 times a day, a week.
3 times a week.
So, in terms of portion, because people, well, she tell me I could have meat. Let's talk about portions, because a lot of people, when you talk about it dead, right? A box of chicken and chips. We may not go for 1 piece, we may go for a 3-piece or a
that
quart.
is an issue there.
So I would like you to advise us in terms of meat content.
How much?
How much?
Okay, so young teenagers growing up, they can have a leg and thigh and a breast and leg.
So a quart.
By
so
the
you're saying
time,
a quart now?
quart
Okay.
for the teenagers. Between ages 20 to 30, that is reproduction time, and that is which part they highly whatever. When you see you reach over 40, you're not supposed to have more than 1 piece of meat. So you have either a leg or a thigh. You have either the breast or the wing. You cannot have both, because then we are now putting too much protein within the system. Okay? When we reach elderly, over the age of 50 and 60 and all those things, the same thing. A leg or a thigh, 1 piece of meat only. Okay? Right, 1 slice of fish. Not 2 big slices of fish according to this type of fish. So like for me, if I like to buy crow and I will buy the small salmon, I will take 2 slices of it because they are very small. And I tell them to slice it up like if I have plenty children. So I can get lots of slices that will last a little longer, okay? It's just 2 of us in the home. Right? So these are the things that you're looking at. Okay. So you want to cut down on the amount of protein, and that amount of protein is just enough for your body to strive on and to function on. Nice. You don't need to have meat morning, noon, and night. Only once for the day.
Okay.
Okay? So then remember, now those of you who want to go and lose the weight, today is about the weight loss. Right? You need to come off of meat for just 2 months. Okay. And come off of the meat and just strictly eat fish. And you will actually see the whole difference. You don't even have to exercise. You will just be losing the weight just so naturally. But you need to exercise, because the exercise is to tone up. Because if you're just losing the weight, you're going to become slaggy. Okay? So you'll see all the guts just hang over. You'll see all the arms down, you see the legs lump up, you understand? So you want to do the exercises. Again, I do not prescribe and I do not condone jumping about like a jack in the box. I don't do that. Because
when you say
what
jumping
happened,
about, explain that.
the jumping about, the aerobic exercise that you are jumping.
Oh, okay.
What happens, it damages the back, it damages, you get slip disc. So while you're young, you're not seeing it, but as I told you before, your past affects your present, which affects your future. So you end up with slip disc by the time you reach in your 30s and your 40s, and you end up with dangerous back pain and sciatic nerve. Because your spines are not attached, they just slip down there, the spinal cord comes through your spine, okay? And so therefore, when you jump about, this cord could slip in between the disc and pinch it. And that is where you get that severe set of pain, sciatic nerve.
What about Zumba?
Right. The Zumba is not supposed to be high impact, it's more low impact. So you're looking for low impact exercise. Okay. What I do chair exercises. Okay? And so the chair exercises are very effective the same way, and they work the same thing as to bring in the oxygen, and the same thing as to do the toning, the same thing as to do everything. So you want to do, and YouTube has all the beginners chair exercise, the advanced chair exercises, all the type of exercises that you can do. Okay? And these, you can do plank also, you can do Pilates. So I do Pilates because why do we need to do Pilates at least twice a week? Go on YouTube, you're going to get to do the Pilates twice a week. The Pilates is to be able to get your bone density. Okay? So you don't need to go to the gym. You can actually do your Pilates at home. You understand? To be able to get that bone density, because as you age, your bone density can become weak. And that means just coming out of a car, you can slip and damage the system and end up with a hip problem. And a lot of elderly people end up with the hip issue. So we want you all to use, and let us protect ourselves while we are young. Okay? So you want to go into 80 and 90 in good health. I have 80 and 90, no hip replacement, no knee, nothing or anything. Just doing your Pilates is going to help you. Nice. Just doing your chair exercises is going to help you. You're going to get the oxygen inside because you need to have your oxygen. So that is your aerobic exercise also, right? And that is to be able to tone up the body. So simple things in losing weight. So you're going to put up the
we'll do that when we come back.
Okay,
We've
good.
got to take a quick break. Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
When security matters most, choose Catch Security Services Limited. We are proudly approved by the Ministry of Homeland Security. We protect your home, business, community, and much more. Our services include professional baton and armed officers, specialized K-9 units, mobile patrols, secure cash pickups, secure transport, and pepper spray applications and supply coming soon. Don't wait. Secure your assets now. Contact Catch Security today. Call 622-6601, email info@cssl-tt.com, or visit our office at 30-32, Saddle Road, Maraval.
I am Zelisa Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, regional, international viewers. Those of you on Tego, the app, those of you in Canada on the Caribbean, Showtime Television, thank you so much for choosing us, allowing us to influence you in a positive way, adding value to life. Knowledge is power. So please like and share the information because it's great information. I'm in conversation with clinical and nutritionist, and that is Terry and George, and today she's talking to us about weight loss, what we should do, what we should not do. Welcome back.
Okay, so hi everyone once again. So we want to do what he thinks that we should not do is starve ourselves.
Because you know,
Understand?
that's what some people do. They feel I'll drink water all day and just not eat and starve themselves.
Let's understand what the body will do. Because you need to be walking up and down the stairs community, doing things, working, doing normal everyday stuff, you need energy. So if you're not feeding and not putting any fuel inside of it, then the body have to conserve. And so what the body do, when you do decide to eat one meal for the day, you understand, it's going to conserve. Whatever you eat, it's going to keep it in there. It will conserve it, and that is why you put on weight. Okay? So this is why it is, a lot of people say, well, I don't eat any food, and I eat once for the day, and you understand, skipping meals is the worst thing you can do to lose weight. Right? You have to eat 3 meals a day. Have your fruits in between. And so I eat like that, right? And so you don't put on weight. So you're making sure that the body burns the energy. But if you don't have anything for it to burn, it's going to take and conserve it. And then when you all keep doing that, starving the body, you're going to put your body into what we call the yo-yo effect. So when you lose 10 pounds, you're going to put on 20 pounds. And when you put on that 20 pounds, it becomes more difficult for the body to lose it later on because it will go into self-preservation. We call that self-preservation. It needs to protect itself because it is the vital organs that your body. So you looking at the outside of your body, not understand you have internal organs, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, you understand your stomach, all these things need food for it to function. So when you decide that you're not eating, what is going to happen? How are you going to get food to your brain? How are you going to get anything to function? And so that is what is happening. You have to eat 3 times a day. You don't have to eat breakfast. You can drink your breakfast. You understand? If you don't want to eat dinner, you can drink dinner too. You understand this story? So again, as we said, we can make the substitution. Now, before we go into exercising, we need to have pre-exercise meal workout and post-exercise meal workout. Because some people, they come, they exercise, and then they collapse right after the exercise because they did not eat before the exercise. And then some people, they will exercise and do not take anything after, and again, it drains the body, and so again, the body now, they're going to collapse. So we're going to have...
I want to talk a little bit quickly about... You talk about drinking. We know it's important to have your water. I want you to tell us, I mean, we always hear 8 glasses of water, but I also want you to tell us about coffee, tea, and milk.
Okay, so...
Because there are people who drink tea all day, and there are people who have coffee all day.
Now, we have... Now, so when I was abroad, and you may have noticed that when you're abroad, in those countries that are cold, they will drink tea and coffee throughout the course of the day to deal with the coldness. Okay? But in Trinidad and Tobago, you don't need to do that, right? Now, coffee, I don't ban my patients some coffee. They just drink only 1 cup of coffee.
You're allowed 1
right?
cup, okay.
1 cup of coffee, and I don't mean a mug of coffee. I said 1 cup of coffee. Try your best. Thank you. Good. So 1 cup of coffee a day will not kill you. But I do not drink coffee, flat out. Okay? Right?
Why? May I ask
why? The coffee has the caffeine in it. Okay? And the caffeine is a stimulant, and that can be dangerous to the system. Okay? So I do not drink caffeinated drinks.
Okay.
Right?
Understood.
Right? So, but some people, it's not going to kill you, it's just but 1 cup. But if you go and drink 3, 4, 5 cups, that means it's going to be dangerous to the body. You become addictive, and that addiction is dangerous to the body. When your body becomes overstimulated, you're going to be starving the system of vital nutrients also. Okay, so you don't want to be drinking, right? If you're drinking herbal teas, that's not a problem, right? But when you start drinking the green teas that has the caffeinated green teas, you want to be staying away from those teas.
So you suggest green tea?
Such as
Turmeric
chamomile,
tea.
turmeric, ginger,
Ginger,
right?
okay.
Cinnamon, lavender, because sometimes these teas help you to go to sleep nicely. The chamomile tea, the lavender tea, that calms the system and stuff, right? The ginger tea, the turmeric tea helps in thinning the blood because you know your blood is thick. Now coming to the water, you need to drink your water. Okay, and now I know on the social media this thing is passing around how much water, and I see some people with these little mini gallons or bottles, right? I mean, you don't want to overdo. What I suggest to my clients is use the small bottle. I don't have one in front of me. The small 300 ml bottle, the 330 ml bottles of water. So at 8 o'clock when you get up, you drink one at 6 o'clock. I wake up early, so 6 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, you have a next bottle of water. At 10 o'clock, you have another bottle of water. At 12 o'clock, you have another bottle of water when you're eating your meals. Instead of drinking juice, you have a bottle of water when you're eating your meals. And then at 3 o'clock, between 3 and 4, you have another bottle of water. 6 o'clock, you have another bottle of water. And 8 o'clock, you drink a bottle of water. Pee and go in your bed. Play you don't know. Now, why are we drinking the water so? You don't want to have too much water. Excessive amount of water in the system too fast will interfere with the electrolytes. So people end up with cramps, you understand? Sorry, you end up with irregular heartbeat. When you take in too much water and the electrolyte system becomes off balance, you will end up with your heart, irregular heartbeat and all those things. Okay, you'll end up now with too much water in the system, your brain can't function, and you actually peeing too much and all these things. But when you drink any water, like how I tell you, in small amount, the body can be able to take the water and utilize it and keep your sugar under control, keep your blood pressure under control, right? And ensuring that you actually help with your stools because you need the water to soften the stools so to pass out, okay? Right, so it also helps with your skin, it also helps with your hair and all these things. So you need to drink your 8 bottles of water, and I just showed you how to drink it.
No, and I like that. Thank you so much. Now, I personally, I don't have soft drinks. I don't, right? It's a rule. And I always advise people, like if I'm on the road or whatever, I would rather have a coconut water, you know. In terms of coconut water, it's healthy, it's local, and it's an alternative. It's a better choice than soft drink, yes?
Right.
So you prescribe that?
I prescribe that.
Great.
Right? Now we can have 1 bottle of coconut water. I don't expect you to drink a liter of coconut water and 2 liters of coconut water in a day because you find that you be going off too often and you run into the bathroom every minute in the night and you understand getting up too often.
You can't sleep, yeah.
Exactly. So you want to, how I tell you to drink the water, but now it will show you now that during the course of the day, so when you drink the water at 6, by 8 o'clock you will go to the bathroom. Then you drink the water at 10. You will now go to the bathroom at 10, so that's 12. So you need to be going to the washroom during the course of the day at least 3 times. Right? If you're not going to the washroom at least 3 to 4 times during the course of the entire 12 hours during a day while you are up, what you're setting yourself up with is to get kidney stones. Right? That is because you're not drinking enough water and not allowing the body to flush. And a lot of people don't understand the importance of that. Right? So you want to make sure, and in the night, you want to get up at least once for the night to urinate, because again, you don't want to stay settled, let the water stay, let the things that you eat settle and form stones. So if you get up, it shake up the system so that you get to go and urinate so that you don't end up with the kidney stones.
Nice, and that's painful, huh?
Exactly, especially for men.
Yeah.
Okay, right? Because remember, they have a urethra and a penis, while in the ladies, we have a vagina, so it's easier for us to pass out a kidney stone compared to a male passing out the kidney stone. So we deal with all those things at my clinic. So we deal with the kidney stone, we deal with the polycystic ovaries, we deal with the overweight, and all the different things. So you can contact us. So we're going to put up before you exercise, a pre-diet of things of what to eat before you exercise.
We've got to do that really quickly because we have to wrap things up in a minute.
Right, so we just run that
1 minute quickly. Pre-workout, this is before you work out. 1 cup of cottage cheese with fruit, apple slices with peanut butter, hummus and carrots, which I think is very delicious. I like that and it's healthy. A banana, oatmeal with whey protein, and a handful of trail mix. Post-workout, your salads and your veggies, your chicken wrap, salmon and rice, avocado, wheat toast, egg whites, yogurt almonds. Nice.
Right? and everything is in
Thank
moderation.
you so much for that, Natalia. Your closing comments quickly. We've got to wrap things up.
So as we close, as I said, everything is in moderation. And those of you who want to purchase the book, you can contact me. Are you really what you eat? This helps you. It's a workbook. So it's not just a book you're sitting down and reading. I don't know. It's a workbook so that it tells you, give you suggestions. There's a 7-week menu on top of it, and it gives you the recipes also, and it gives you the guidelines and all those things.
Great.
And everything. So therefore, my number is 336-4935. 336-4935. You can get me on WhatsApp, and you can get me on Facebook, Terry Ann George.
Terry, and I want to thank you kindly. God bless you. I know we're going to see more of you on Real TV because knowledge is power. And when we have aware now of the choices, we've got to, what we've got to do to apply to make those changes, and it starts today now, right? I want to thank you so much. God bless you, and we'll see you really soon.
Thank you. Everyone have a blessed day.
Thank you, darling. This is where we're going to wrap things up. I want to thank you for choosing us here on Real TV. Remember, you hold the key for a good health because you make the decisions, you made the choices, not just for yourself, but for your children and your family as well. The choices you make today will determine your tomorrows, all right? Your health is your wealth. Please be good law-abiding citizens. Do what is right at all times. And here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. I am Zelisa Budu Singh Rupani. Thanks for choosing us on Real TV. Great programming continues. Don't you dare change that station. Like and share it because it's beautiful information. Knowledge is power. Keep smiling. Be positive. I am Zelisa Budu Singh Rupani. Thanks for choosing us. Be safe. Be happy. See you soon.